Today I'm going to be presenting a short lecture on laser centering, specifically with the application of a powder bed. I like this graphic. It was handmade at one of the national laboratories to kind of explore some of the uses of additive manufacturing, and it highlights that you can reduce energy usage by 50% and material waste by 90% compared to traditional manufacturing methods. So laser centering with powder bed involves basically having powder leveled onto or um, spread thinly on a layer onto a build platform, with a laser then scanning it and then fusing that where it has scanned, and then it progresses through as it moves the build platform down. It repeats the process. So some key process features or parameters that affect the quality and resulting parts are things like laser power, laser scanning speed, laser scanning pattern, laser scan overlap, so how closely those scans are overlapped. There's specific powder properties. Some powders produce a better surface finish as opposed to other powders. Size of the powder. There's monomodal, which is a single size. There's bimodal, which is two sizes, a very fine powder and a larger powder. Or there's varieties of powder properties. Powder preheat temperature, build chamber pressure. That becomes important with volatile compounds like aluminums, magnesium, some of the lighter metals will actually vaporize and you'll lose constituents if it's not pressurized, and just the physical layer height, so how much you're actually able to fuse. And laser centering, especially with a powder bed, is really good at fine um, features and fine internal structures and things like that. Compared to some of the other methods, I can achieve some of the best resolutions. Um, So some of the materials used, there's a variety of materials depending on the manufacturing. The manufacturer offers several different materials and has characterized those for their machines. Various alloys of aluminum, cobalt, chromium, copper, other precious metals, some heavy metals, not a ton in that area, hot work steels, nickel, stainless steel, titaniums, and tool steels, all very useful engineering metals. So one of the case studies that I was able to find was from EOS, which is a big player in the laser centering market, especially with powdered beds. They've been around for a long time, and this was in dental restoration, so dental labs. The customer was Argon Company, I think, Argon Corp, and they make custom dental restorations. So you're basically able to print a group of them at a time, and it reduced waste and a lot of. It was a very manual process prior to that, so it almost completely eliminated rework. So it'd be porcelain over a metal framework is how they do these, and they're saying, I like this quote, it says a skilled technician using traditional hand operations can make about 20 units in a day, where he said with this scanner and software and a printer, they can make 80 units in a day. So that's why it's productivity and increased revenue because of the productivity. So here's another really important application of laser centering with a powder bed is tooling inserts, specifically for plastic injection molding. Um, you're able to design these with a conformal cooling channel actually integrated into the tool, so you can cool complex features in a very uniform way, which decreases rejection rates and increases cycle times. And also it reduces the cost of traditional tooling because these complex features can be made as standalone parts and then integrated into a larger mold that where the majority of the mold is fairly simple, and then this one feature is very, very complex. So EOS is based out of Kreiling, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, Germany, and they've got a variety of machines. The 280 and the 290 are kind of their workhorses. They also have this one, and they have fiber lasers, 200 or 400 watt fiber lasers, and the same build size. This one has some, the 290 has some additional post-processing and other material property monitoring. They have a one specifically for precious metals, so for like jewelers, things like that. And it has a more meticulous like powder handling system because you don't want to just let gold powder go everywhere because it's really expensive. And then, yeah, and they also have a more production based where you can actually have interchangeable build on setup stations to ease and to speed up production, and a large build area and a 1 kilowatt fiber laser as well. So they've been in business since 1989, and they've been making um, laser centering machines for 20 years. So it started in 1995, and they have probably the majority of the market share with over 1,000 machines sold um, in to date, pretty much. So, and they also offer both metal and plastic laser centering. The second vendor that I wanted to highlight is called SLM Solutions. They're also out of Germany, Lübeck, Germany, and they've got kind of an entry level 100, 200 watt laser, small build platform, and then they step up to a 400 or a 1 kilowatt laser with a larger build platform about the same as the EOS 280, 290. But their big production machine can be equipped with up to 4 lasers. So, and up for a combined laser power of up to 2.8 kilowatts, which is just huge and a really big build volume. Again, with onloading and offloading modules. And they can actually achieve some of the highest build rates that I've seen in laser centering of up to 100 cc's, cubic centimeters per hour, which is just flying. And they've got various iterations and applications of that. So the lasers can also be coupled together, so you can have them track exactly the same point, creating two of the same part, or you can have them all work independently, and they'll actually vary what they use the 1,000 watt versus the 400 watt laser for. So they'll typically use like the 1,000 watt laser for fusing the center, and the 400 watt laser for fusing the outside edge, because it actually will give different material properties and different grain and microstructures and things like that, depending on various build parameters. And they'll also do a pressurized build chamber um, for volatiles, where some of the others will try and operate at a partial or low vacuum. They actually will do a pressurized build chamber for magnesium alloys and things like that. So that here are my references, and that concludes this presentation on laser centering powder beds.